Well...
Oh, don't stop, don't stop.
Oh, it looks like there's a storm blowing up.
Oh, I'll go with you. Wow, there's so much to see. Oh, wait, I need my dog. Toto? Toto? Oh, there you are, Toto. No, we can't go back home. They'll send you to the sheriff. Maybe I can give it a hunk. Maybe he'll hide you. Oh, Professor, what shall we do?
I know what I'm gonna do. Lock up the wonders, keep them safe. Michael Crawford. Hey, Michael Crawford's here. How you doing?
Good, Steve, thank you.
Do say hello to Tim.
Hello, Michael.
Good to see you again. Huge fan.
Oh, yes.
I don't know why, he just is. Michael Crawford.
I mean you don't know why. I'm a huge fan, been for years.
Well, I know you are. Is an Olivier and Tony Award-winning singer, that's not Tim, that's Michael, and actor who starred on stage and screen for over 4 decades. Has it been 4 decades? He's trod the boards with the likes of Barbara Streisand, Walter Matthau, Lynn Redgrave, to name a few.
Sorry, we were just counting the decades there.
Yeah.
I'm going back to your films in the 60s, classic films. It's 5 decades.
5 decades.
Congratulations.
Yes. Congratulations.
Thank you. You didn't want me to remind you.
I'm really scared. Honestly, how do you do it? Because you are actually, at this age, I'm guessing you must be 41 by now, you must be incredibly fit.
Well, I'm very disciplined about when I'm working, and now even when I'm not, because I went through a period where I wasn't too well. So you have to be disciplined about your diet and all that kind of stuff as the years go by. And now I do eat very sensibly.
Yeah.
Whatever you do, you cut back on.
Right. And with The Wizard of Oz, how many shows are you doing a week?
8.
And that's quite strenuous, isn't it, really?
It is. We do Tuesday, 2 shows Wednesday, 1 Thursday, 1 Friday, and then 2 Saturday and 1 Sunday.
Wow.
Right, and people might not realise, but you play actually 4 characters, who are?
It's Professor Marvel to start with, and then I go into this sort of low-crutched gate guard at Emerald City, which I created this wonderful costume for, and then I become the tour guide inside Emerald City, who's a bit like George Cole, and then the last one is the wizard himself.
Yeah.
So is it physically demanding, doing all this?
Not as much as anything I've done before, by any means, but that's not what I was looking for. I think it's very much a team effort. We've got the wonderful Danielle Hope as Dorothy, who came out of the television series, which I'm not too much in favour of that kind of programme, but I can't argue with this casting. And the girl who came second, Sophie Evans, who plays on Tuesdays. They're just both incredible.
And it's a wonderful show with wonderful songs.
It is. Everybody knows the music,
Yeah.
and every night in the dressing room when it starts up, you have a smile on your face. With Phantom, you were very serious. Obviously, there was an intensity about that show. But this one is joyful, and at this time of my life, I need that kind of thing to wake me up in the morning. And the sets are just extraordinary.
Are you still that perfectionist? I mean, any time I've ever interviewed you over the years, it's Michael Crawford, the perfectionist. He's nice, but he's a hard taskmaster, etc., etc. Are you still like that?
I would think I've eased up a bit, but I've always wanted to do the best I could, because my best was never good enough at school, so I was always very poor at everything. So when I did find something I could do, I desperately wanted to be good at it. I mean, it's like a comic. If he goes out there, he wants to be the funniest person he can be.
Yeah.
And so he's really going to go for it. If you're an individual, as a sportsman, you've got to be a perfectionist. No one quibbles about that. We cheer them on. But if you're a perfectionist in our business, they sort of spit the word out.
You've gotten to the stage, I think, you're a great beloved star. Do you think that you would be there if it were not for Frank Spencer, or do you think that you would have trundled on anyway, doing different jobs and what have you? I mean, that's a difficult question to ask, because I'm asking you to be immodest.
No,
but
it's interesting.
What do you think?
Obviously, I have no idea. I mean, Frank Spencer was the turning point in my life, because publicly you became known. You could work in the theatre forever. We've got many fine actors working in the theatre today. The general public around the country have no idea what their names are. But the familiarity that comes with television is just extraordinary, the power that it has. I mean, indescribable to have these 24-odd million viewers to watch you. And then 40 years later, they still show it, and people will still say, "Well, where's Betty? All right." And
yeah, it's peculiar. Oh no, don't you start.
Oh, that was Tim.
Did you think from the start, though, that it was going to be, if not that successful, certainly successful?
You have a feeling when you're laughing so much at what's going on. Sounds, again, being a modest, but you say you're laughing at what you are doing. We're all laughing. Michelle Latrice, it would never have been what it was without her. She never stopped laughing. The crew were laughing, and then when you got in with that audience and they laughed, but then you couldn't believe the viewing figures when they started. It
Incredible,
was,
yeah.
Yes, it was the most exciting thing ever.
and it's down in history as like one of the great all-time British comedy series in the vein of Fawlty Towers, and it's there forever, isn't it?
There were many really good series around at that time.
Yeah.
They were great series.
Golden age of comedy, really, wasn't it?
I think it was.
Yeah.
And want to see that again.
You said earlier on that you didn't like shows like the X Factor, and are you an X Factor guy or a Strictly
No.
Come Dancing guy?
I'll watch Strictly. Yes, annoys me, but I'm one of many millions who watch it, though.
Yeah.
But I don't like X Factor.
Had there been those shows when you were young, I suppose you might have been on one, mightn't you?
No, I would have been appalling.
Really?
And you've got to look right. There's a look about it. I grew up on Dixon and Dock Green playing skinny villains and shows Emergency Ward 10 as an accident victim, so it didn't matter what I looked like, but I could act. They accepted and encouraged my acting.
You were a dead guy in Emergency Ward 10, weren't you?
They killed me off.
I remember,
because
yeah.
I forgot my lines and looked under the sheets, and it looked as though I was reading them off my... And I said, "Have you seen these, nurse?"
You were brilliant at that, 5 stars. Do you remember?
I do remember. You were in a film with Steve McQueen as well, weren't you, in the early days?
Yes, The War Lover.
Fantastic.
He made me wear no shoes because I was taller than him, and it was freezing cold in January on an airfield.
Michael can be seen in The Wizard of Oz at the London Palladium until the 5th of February next year, which seems to me like an extension.
It is, yes. My time was up, so to speak, in September, and I decided I was having so much fun I'd go on till February.
Oh,
so that's what I'm
fantastic.
doing.
Okay, so that's at the London Palladium until 5th of February next year. Michael Crawford in The Wizard of Oz. Wish you a Merry Christmas if I don't see you before, and carry on doing it. Might come down and see it myself, as long as you can get me a ticket.
I can.
Okay.
Thank you, Steve.
I'll
Thank
pay.
you, Tim.
I'll pay.
I got some trouble.
Bye. Bye.
I'm gonna